Hi, my name is Cindy Rang with the Fabric Patch in Ephrata, Washington, and today we are doing block number 9 of our Jaye's Bouquet block of the month. Okay, we are on block number 9. So what we did at first, we were doing one class that was just embroidery, one class that was piecing, one class that was embroidery, one class that was piecing, and now you guys are all old hat. So we're going to kind of combine them together. Really, the piecing is super simple, just adorable. Great way to use up your leftover pieces if you didn't get the fabric kit. If you're brand new here, this pattern is still available in our store at fabricpatch.net or possibly your local store. It is a darling little block of the month with super cute embroideries. We are going through it using the same colors that she has suggested, but your other option, if you feel like that's too many decisions, it is lovely as just a single color stitch if you want to do it that way. And it's a fun way to learn lots and lots of new stitches. So let's talk about block number 9. And first, let's go ahead and do a close-up, because what I want to show you is that I want to go through the stitches, because the stitches are all ones we've already learned. All right, so here's our little close-up of block number 9. Here is our piecing. Notice that we've got a fun little bit of stitching on this block, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then this is the embroidered block. So there's only 5 stitches on this, so there isn't any demonstrations of this block today, but I just want to point them out for you so you can see what they all are. So the way that she's listed them is first the feather with the long straight stitch. So this is, of course, our feather stitch right here. And this is just a basic feather stitch. If you look over here, you can see the same idea, but the only difference is that when you're going from one to the next, she just did this great big huge, she suggested some long, uneven, fun little stitches in there. So it's super clever. It gives you a really nice, fun, organic look, and it just looks so different from a basic feather stitch that it's just kind of fun to see. So that's what that one is. We don't need to demonstrate that today. It's just a basic feather stitch. We've done this on almost every block that we've done. There's also a stem stitch. Stem stitch is another one that we've done from class 1, and this is all the stem stitch, and this is just a nice little outline, thick line. And it's really pretty in this particular block with a little variegation of the green. So the stem stitch is here. We also have it outlined here. Next is the back stitch, and all of the outlines of the petals in here are all done with a back stitch. So again, we've been doing that since block 1. So that's just repeat, repeat, repeat. And then next is the fly stitch. We've been doing the fly stitch since block 1. Almost always the same way. You want to go ahead and do the outline of the leaf first out of your stem stitch, and then just fill in with the fly stitch here and here. And then finally the French knots, my favorite. And so we've got all of the French knots in here and all along the outside edge. And what's kind of fun with the French knots is if you do have just a slight variegation, like in this thread here, you can see all different shades of pink. So anyway, this is our beautiful hydrangea hand embroidered block, and this particular one is just 5 stitches, and we won't be demonstrating any of these. All of these we've already demonstrated. This one should go together fairly well, maybe not fairly quickly. There's still a lot of stitching, but it's a lovely, lovely block. We're going to spend our time talking about the piecing. All right, so beautiful hydrangea block. Again, you can just kind of work on that. Quick little reminder in case you're brand new here. In the pattern, she gives you this really big close-up picture of the block, which is really, really nice. But the size of your block is, of course, this one. This is the one that you're tracing. And then all of your construction for your block is on that side. And that's what we're going to kind of concentrate on, is we're going to go ahead and put this together. So let's talk about this one first. This one is super, super simple. It's just your 2.5-inch block. This is going to give you an opportunity to fussy cut that if you'd like to, if you want to find something kind of cute, again, whether it's her line or something fun out of your stash. And then you have your 2.5-inch squares that you're sewing together, and then you have your 6.5-inch pieces on your side. That just could not be easier. It's just a little square and a square. And then after it's done, you can go ahead and add this fun little feather stitch if you'd like to do that. And then let's talk about this block. This is the block that we're going to piece together. And even this one, super simple. It's just 4 half square triangles. And then we put a sash on it and a center stone. And so really it's just kind of a 9 patch. The hardest part about this block is going to be deciding your colors. Once you've decided what colors you want to use, it's going to go together really quickly. So let's go ahead and go to the cutting board and we'll do that. Okay, so here we are. This is block, she calls this block B, and this is exactly like what we already did in block number 2. So again, a lot of it is just going to be deciding what colors you want to use. This is what I went ahead and picked for block A. So block A, she just has you cut these little sashing pieces, which are super easy. There is the little center stone or cornerstone that's right here. And then we just have to make a couple of half square triangles. Now here's the thing. She tells you to go ahead and do 3 1/4. My just little pro tip, just cut this a little bit bigger. Let's make our half square triangles and then let's trim them up to the size they need to be. So I went ahead and cut mine 3 1/2. So these are the colors I'm going to use. I've already drawn my line. So all I'm going to do is take my, she says 3 1/4. I'm going to do 3 1/2, put my pieces right sides together. I'm going to go to the sewing machine really fast and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on one side and 1/4 inch on the other, and I'm going to be right back. Okay, so we've sewn on both sides, and if we use our friction marker, then when we press them open, that mark is going to go away. You have these funny little dog ears, but really all we're going to do is we're going to lay this out, and using our ruler and a rotary cutter, we're going to trim this up to 2 3/4. Once we've done that, we're going to put them in these corners and sew this together. Okay, so here are my blocks, and I just wanted to show you this. Now, we have done half square triangles, I think, on 3 or 4 other blocks. So if you felt like you needed a little bit more direction than that, I show you the whole thing about trimming them and all of that. But I just wanted to remind you that I do always make them a little bit bigger because I wanted to show you these are my trimmings. So, you know, it's just nice. I think of this as insurance. So it's kind, I would rather, you know, just trim off a little bit, have a little bit of extra work and have this than to go, oh shoot, this block isn't quite big enough. So I generally will tend to bump up just a little bit when I do that. All right, so now everything is cut exactly the way that it should be. And now all that's going to happen is you basically have a 9 patch, right? So you're going to go ahead and sew those 3 together. You're going to sew those 3 together. Right sides together, obviously. You're going to sew those 3 together and then sew your horizontal seams. And then we've got our 9 patch. Let's go ahead and look at this block. It certainly looks different when it's a different color. I think the only difference here is, I mean, the only thing similar is we use the same background here. But anyway, it's just a really sweet little block. It's just these 2. We'll sew those together and then you end up with a 6 1/2 by 12 1/2 inch block. And when the whole thing is together, it's going to finish at 6 inches by 12 inches. Okay, so that was block number 9, and we still have 3 blocks left. So we'll go ahead and get all of that pieced and get your, start working on your stitching. And then we'll see you in a couple weeks for block number 10.
Thank you for watching our video. We invite you to leave a comment, hit the like button, or better yet, subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. You can also visit our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest pages, or find all of those things and our online store at fabricpatch.net.